Hello folks, I'm Randy Gildersleeve, coming to you part of my series Ukulele Basics, and I just put together an arrangement of Jingle Bells just in time for Christmas. As you might have noticed, in this arrangement the melody and the chords are combined together, and I was inspired to go in this direction by a book that I recently purchased, and it's written by a fellow named James Hill, who's a Canadian ukulele really a master player. And so his book is called Duets for One. Here's a copy of it. I really like this book because James presents 15 arrangements, and he shows us various ways that we can put the melody and the chords together at one time on the ukulele. And so the specific song that inspired this arrangement of Jingle Bells was the first song in the book that James does, which is Freight Train, a kind of a standard folk song that a lot of people know how to play. And so the style that James presents in this song is to play the melody and then add the chords off the beat. So kind of like this. So if I just play you the chords, they all land on the and of the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I realized while I was practicing Freight Train that I could do this with Jingle Bells because the melody of Jingle Bells is mostly on the beat. Sounds like this. And the chords work well to play off the beat. This particular arrangement is in the key of F, and the chords are just F, B flat, and C, and occasionally a little bit of passing C7. The chord forms are pretty standard, but I do want to point out a few things. The first time the C chord comes around, I play it up the neck at the 3rd fret, the same way you'd play a B flat chord, but at the 3rd fret, like so. Another thing I'd like to point out is how I did the introduction, which is just 2 measures, and it kind of sets up the song. And I do just some standard finger picking here, so different technique than the rest of the song. So that started with the C chord, C7, F chord, and then an F played high up the neck. I just used that B flat shape, moved it up to the 8th fret, and played the first 3 strings. One of the big challenges for this song is when there's not much happening in the melody, you often have measures where the melody is just on the first beat, and then your job is to keep those chords going on the off beat. Check out the second measure of the verse. I'll play the first 2 measures, and you'll see how the melody just kind of rings through in the second measure, and I continue on the offbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like so. Your biggest challenge is probably going to be to try to keep the melody out front and still have the chords solidly behind that melody, but not overwhelming the melody. On the B flat chords, for example, you'll have a kind of a low note in the melody. So I'm just playing the last 2 strings. Here's measure 6 of the piece. And then I go on with. So I kind of add a little bit more of the chord as the melody climbs up higher. Last thing, at the end of the piece, there's a little bit of a syncopated ending. So the last measure sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So not too hard to do, but you just have to kind of understand the counting. So I hope you enjoy playing this version of Jingle Bells. I had a lot of fun putting it together. Check out the tablature that I'm attaching, and look for more videos from me under the title Ukulele Basics, and have a Merry Christmas.